Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join us on our mini, kind of spontaneous, free, action-packed, information-laden workshop series that we're calling the 6 Secrets to Running a More Prosperous Flower Shop. These are spread out over 3 days this week. Today is part 1, and let me open up by introducing ourselves. So, meeting the team, this is me, Tim Huckabee. I will be conducting the workshop today. I'm going to tell you my history, and this way you can kind of put a face with the voice. We also have Rebecca joining us. Rebecca, are you with us?
I'm here.
Okay, good. So Rebecca's role in the company is she's in charge of member services. As florists come on board and start training with us as they buy our products, Rebecca is the liaison, making sure they're comfortable using it, getting people on board. Some of our other programs, we even send people a microphone so they can participate. So that's kind of what Rebecca does. Now, although this is a short workshop today, we do want to get you involved. Everybody who does have a microphone has the ability to speak. Right now we have everybody muted because of the size of the crowd. So if you do want to make a comment, and I will pause a couple of times for Q&A, all you have to do is raise your hand, hit that little icon, and then Rebecca will unmute you. If you have a microphone, you can talk. If you don't have a microphone, or if you are a bit of a wallflower, pun intended, then feel free to type in the chat message box, and then Rebecca will read your information, your question. Looking over the registration list, I realize we've got lots of people who've never worked with us before. Really happy to have met some of you through the promotions we did in various Facebook groups, on LinkedIn, and a few other places. So I'm going to take just a couple of seconds and give you my history. I think it's important when you're on a webinar and somebody's telling you I've got 30 years of experience and this is the definitive right way and wrong way, that you understand where that's coming from. So my history in the flower industry goes back to 1993. So I'm at 31 years, I'm proud to say. I worked at a very busy high-end flower shop in New York City. This is the brownstone where it was located, and it sounds very glamorous and exciting, but it made our work twice as difficult because brownstones, if you haven't been to New York, are long and narrow. So it was a beautiful place inside, but it was challenging, but it was fun, and I learned a lot. After working there for a couple of years, I had this idea. I realized that we were doing lots of things really, really well. So when it came time for me to move on, I knew I wasn't going to become the manager, and I wanted to kind of put into practice what I'd gone to school for. So with the blessing of the owner, in 1997, I took off and started my own business, essentially teaching retail florists best practices, the best way to sell, the best way to serve. And I've been very lucky. I'm one of the few Americans who has been to all 50 states. I've actually visited over 7,000 individual flower shops over the past nearly 30 years. I've been in big ones and little ones, urban, suburban, rural, old, new, anything you can imagine, not just in the US, up in Canada as well, throughout the world. I've been to Australia, I've been all throughout England and Ireland, essentially the English-speaking world. So when I share these concepts and ideas and best practices with you, they are rooted in experience. This is what great flower shops do, and that's what we're going to teach you over the next couple of days. So the agenda today is simple. We're going to share secret number 1. We're going to share secret number 2. We're going to do some Q&A, and I'd love to get your feedback, your opinion, your thoughts, your proverbial 2 cents, and then we'll take you just 1 or 2 steps deeper inside to what we actually do here at The Profitable Florist. What I've decided to do with these 6 secrets is to break them into different groups, and these first 2 are going to relate to sales. And I want to share what I tell florists who engage us all the time. And especially I find this is helpful when I'm talking to a florist who's skeptical. Rebecca and I and the rest of the team often talk to florists who will say to us, well, we've been doing this for 35 years. We know how to sell flowers. Great. Or like, I'm a sales expert. I could probably teach your courses. Great. I respect that, but nobody ever stops learning. And what we all know, those of us at least who've been in the industry for more than 5 years, is that COVID changed everything. It took our industry and turned it inside out and upside down, and it changed everything. So to those people who say, we don't need training, our sales are great, to the flower shop owners who proudly will say to me, and I respect this, our staff is very, very friendly, we don't need any training. But just because your staff is friendly doesn't mean they're doing a great job. So that's some food for thought. But let me back it up with some facts. So here is a fun fact, and this holds true at every flower shop we've ever worked with, and that is that when your customers go onto your website to do their shopping, they spend on average 25% more when they call your store or visit your shop and interact with your staff. Really, really interesting. At the same time, really scary. And like I said here, run the report and see for yourself. So what that means is when one of your customers, somebody living within 20 miles of your store, 30 kilometers, learns about a funeral, during the day, they're going to call and they're going to come in, and they're probably going to be told, well, our easel spray start at $150. But when that same customer maybe learns after hours about the death of a family member, and he realizes he has an early day the next day, he's not going to have a chance to come and visit your store. When he goes and shops on your website, he spends a lot more money, a lot more money. And this is the same customer, but when the shopping circumstances are different, the customer is much more liberal with his money. So you might ask yourself, why does that happen? And the reason is simple. The website lets them. The website will let them spend more money, and the staff doesn't. But don't worry, it's all fixable. And that's what we're going to be covering over the next couple of days with you. So let's dive into to these secrets. So what's the first big secret that makes so many flower shops successful and profitable and have big orders? It's simple. They're not afraid to offer bigger prices. And I'm well aware that right now in late 2024, in most of the world, the economy isn't super strong. And that plays into how people look at buying flowers, which arguably are a luxury purchase. But the best, the most organized flower shops are not afraid to offer bigger prices. And like I just said a couple of minutes ago, on your website, when your customers see bigger prices, they buy them. So what I'm really saying, funny enough, is we're often our own worst enemy. We get in the way of our own profitability, but we can change that. So the number one secret to running a bigger flower shop is simply don't sell from your own pocket. Hopefully you've heard that phrase before. It's been kicked around for a long time, but it's really true. And I believe the issue we have in our industry is the typical person working in a flower shop isn't driving a $65,000 Lexus, doesn't have a lake house for the weekend. And that's because they have a passion for this industry, which is, not well known for paying big salaries. So what happens is, without the benefit of professional training, without the guidance, what we do on the floor in flower shops is we sell from our own pocket. We offer customers prices that we think they want. We offer them items that we would spend. And to that point, I take great pride in telling people, especially when I'm on site at a flower shop training, I'm cheap. I am cheap, 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 cheap. And I rarely spend more than $75 when I'm sending flowers myself. Sometimes I'll spend $100, but if I were talking to a customer at that store, ordering flowers for the same reason I would, if it were appropriate, and if that's in line with that store's pricing, like that, I will start the customer at 150, 200, 250 or more. Why? Because that's my job. And I learned long ago not to sell from my own pocket, to separate my personal finances and my personal shopping habits from those of my customer. And as soon as you do that, that's much better customer service, and suddenly your sales skyrocket. So what's the solution, or how do you change this in your store? Number one, just offer higher prices. Like I just showed you, and I hope that you will run the report and see this, your website offers higher prices, customers spend it. You as an owner or manager need to lead by example. When you're on the phone, when you're on the floor, make it a point to offer higher price points. And then once you're done with that sale, celebrate the success with your staff and show them that yes, our customers will spend more. Next point is sell to the customer's needs, not what you think they want to spend. And that echoes what I said a couple of minutes ago. If I learn that it's an important birthday, I'm going to sell to the birthday. I'm going to sell something that's appropriate, which often is a larger design, a higher price point, more of a splash. And then finally, my gosh, this is probably the biggest problem, and I would go so far as to call this a cancer on the industry. Stop asking this ridiculous question, how much do you want to spend? We only have 15 minutes today and they're ticking away quickly. I could spend an hour or more telling you just how bad that is. It's bad customer service. It kills the sales. It makes customers uncomfortable. It's archaic. There's no other industry that does it. Smart flower shops don't. Smart flower shops don't do that. Your website doesn't. So there are two ways of looking at why that's a bad habit. So let me come up for air for a minute, see if we have any questions or comments on that topic. Do we hit any nerves, Rebecca, or we have anybody who's hot to argue or give me a counterpoint?
Not yet. I think everyone's taking it all in.
Okay, perfect. Well, I want to keep on schedule and be respectful of everybody's time. So let's take a look at the second secret. And the second secret is, why are they selling so much better, and why are their average prices so much higher regardless of where the flower shop is located? And that is that they consistently offer to upgrade the order. Again, your website does it, but the staff doesn't. And what I mean specifically by this is that we've got to get better at offering a customer an add-on. The website does it. They offer balloons, they offer teddy bears. Part of what we do as a service to our customers is we offer a mystery shopper service call, and we even have a monthly workshop where as a group we gather and listen to 3 of these calls. And Rebecca, in your experience, because we've been working together for about 7 years now, of every 10 calls that you make to a flower shop, how often are you offered a balloon, a teddy bear, a box of chocolates, a greeting card?
Probably 1 in 10.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And what happens is we end up begging the people to do this. I will give them a reason, like it's my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, which screams like golden anniversary balloons or a bottle of champagne if you have a liquor license. And the sales clerk just breezes right through it. And I say, by the way, is there anything else I can add? Oh yeah, we've got, these balloons. And then they get all excited, but it's just not intuitively part of the conversation. And that's where you lose out. Smart flower shops have their staff professionally trained to ask this all the time, and they reap the benefits. It's a bigger sale, it's a happier customer, it's a more personalized experience. So how do you tackle this? How do you change this in the culture in your store? You've got to train your staff. You've got to train your staff to do it. There's simple language. There are written sales tools. It's very easy to get them up to speed, mimicking what the website does. And once again, lead by examples. Be prepared to offer your walk-in customers and your phone customers that lavender candle, that box of gourmet truffles, that signature item that you have as an add-on. Make sure that you expand the selections. Maybe you're not offering enough right now, and that's inhibiting the sales. I'm not an advocate of suddenly carrying like 25 candle lines, but you do want to have more than just candy to offer customers. I know a lot of you struggle with helium. Environmentally, you don't want to use it. I get that, or use the balloons. I know helium has gone up, but there are lots of other options, including cards and candles and candy and other options. And again, the old-fashioned way of asking is so clunky. Do you want anything else? Do you want to add anything? Like what? Curly fries? There's a better way of doing this. This is what we teach. You need to be eloquent and suggest these items very much in the same way that the website does. Make them available to the customer, help them to understand the benefit of buying them, and then they do. And again, your sales go up. The customer is happy. That's what I love so much. When I'm working in a flower shop at a busy holiday, and I'll be doing it again at Christmas, I really enjoy hearing, after I use the proper way of introducing some kind of an additional item to the customer, probably 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 2 will buy it. But when they do buy it, time and again, they say, oh, thank you so much. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for letting me know. So ironically, they're thanking me for letting them spend more money, but really what we're doing is helping them to personalize their sale. So those are 2 critical secrets, 2 things that successful flower shops do to make their sales grow, keep their sales high. And I'll give everybody a chance if you want to raise your hand, if you want to type in a comment. But I also, for those of you who haven't worked with us, this is one of my favorite quotes. This was a customer who brings me out to his store in suburban Chicago pretty regularly, and I love this comment. He was kind of kicking himself that it took too long. And for those of you who haven't worked with us yet, check us out. Go onto our website. We're going to give everybody new customers a 20% discount this week. So really make it easy for us to work together before the busy holiday season kicks in. And tomorrow we will send you some samples. I'll send you another small workshop that we've done so we can kind of open your eyes and realize, regardless of how old your business is, regardless of how successful you are, just by virtue of the fact that you're with us today, you're open-minded. You realize, hey, we're successful, but we can be better. And that's what smart florists do. So we're glad that you're with us today. Here's the plan, because remember, this is only 1/3 of what we're doing with you this week. We want you to come back tomorrow, same time. We're going to give you secrets 3 and 4. And the topic tomorrow is management. How do the best, smartest, most professional, productive, prosperous flower shops manage their staff? You're going to learn that tomorrow. But keep an eye out in your email. We're going to follow up with some information, hopefully get you pumped up and start doing this. And I'd love for those of you who come back tomorrow, let us know if you try these today, how it works out, making that bigger sale, selling that additional item, and definitely run the report and look at how much money, how many thousands of dollars a month you're leaving on the table because you're not asking the right questions. But now we've opened your eyes and created some awareness. All right, Rebecca, before we let all of our students go until we resume tomorrow, any questions or any comments or any hands in the air?
I think everyone's waiting to hear all your 6 secrets.
All right, well, pop some popcorn, join us tomorrow, and you'll get the next 2. So thanks for joining us, everybody. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.